BBC News with Sue Montgomery. The US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says staunch international backing for Ukraine in its battle with Russia will continue for the long haul. Speaking in Germany at a gathering of ministers of 40 countries from NATO and its allies, he announced they would now meet every month to coordinate their efforts to support Ukraine.
We're all determined to help Ukraine win today and build strength for tomorrow. The work that we've done together in record time has made a huge difference on the battlefield. But we don't have any time to waste. So we've got to move at the speed of war. We're all determined to do even more to better coordinate our efforts. But it also means redoubling our common efforts to strengthen Ukraine's military for the long haul.
Mr. Austin also described a shift of policy by the German government to supply anti-aircraft tanks as a significant boost to Ukraine's military capabilities. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has told the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov that the invasion of Ukraine is a violation of the United Nations Charter. In a joint news conference in Moscow, Mr. Guterres said he was concerned about reports of war crimes in Ukraine. Mr. Lavrov said it was too early to talk about mediation. The Secretary-General is now meeting President Putin. The World Bank says it expects the war in Ukraine to cause the largest commodity shock since the 1970s. Our business reporter, Jonathan Josephs, has more details.
Big price rises are already being seen across the world at supermarket checkouts, in energy bills and car showrooms. After 2 months of fighting in Ukraine, the World Bank is now putting numbers on how big the increases are likely to be. The country was a major crop exporter, but with those supplies now cut off, wheat and chicken will both soar more than 40%. Global energy prices will increase more than 50% as Europe tries to wean itself off of Russian supplies. Fertilizers, metal and cotton prices are also on the increase.
The President of Moldova has appealed for calm after a series of explosions in a breakaway region controlled by pro-Russian separatists. The blasts reportedly targeted radio masts in the state security building in Transnistria, which borders Ukraine. Here's Rachel Wright.
President Maia Sandu of Moldova said the explosions were aimed at creating tensions in an area which has been controlled by pro-Russian separatists since 1992. The head of the separatists claims Ukraine has carried out the attacks, but Kyiv accused Moscow of wanting to destabilise the region as a precursor to sending in Russian troops. In a thinly veiled threat, the Russian Foreign Ministry said it wanted to avoid a scenario in which Moscow would have to intervene.
BBC News. The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has promised more help to rebuild communities devastated by recent floods, but has warned of tougher measures to ensure relief funds aren't lost to corruption. 435 people died and more than 50 are still missing, mostly in KwaZulu-Natal province. Mr. Ramaphosa said real-time audits would be carried out to prevent money being stolen. Somalia has edged closer to completing its long-delayed presidential election after senators chose a speaker for the upper house of parliament. The lower house is expected to follow suit on Wednesday. Somalia has been in a deep political crisis due to a power struggle between the president and his prime minister. Joyce Tutu reports.
Somalia is one step closer to finalising what has been a lengthy legislative election process. The appointment of a speaker for Somalia's upper house is a major one. All that remains before presidential elections can take place is a vote for the speaker of the lower house. Somalia has missed several deadlines to conclude elections, resulting in sanctions against MPs by the US. Rivalry between the country's president and prime minister have fueled the delays, which militants have capitalised on, stepping up attacks in the capital Mogadishu.
Turkish officials say President Recep Tayyip Erdogan plans to visit Saudi Arabia on Thursday, following years of tension between the two countries. Links have been strained since the murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul 4 years ago. The organisers of the Wimbledon tennis tournament have been defending their decision to ban Russian and Belarusian players from this year's tournament because of the invasion of Ukraine. They said participation could be used to benefit what they called Russia's propaganda machine during the war. They described the case as exceptional. BBC News.